Hi, today we are going to discuss about material master. Under this subject area of material master, we will be covering topics so these are the topics we are going to discuss under this material master. First, we will look into types of data and master records from purchasing point of view. So types of data, let us see flow diagram. This SAP data having two types of datas, main datas. Those are system relevant datas and application relevant data. System relevant data means it is related to the system or software. Application means is where we are going to apply for industries, and just like example like purchasing and sales and all this. So those are applications here, that relevant data. And this application data again subclassified into application data and customization data. The application data again subdivided, they are classified as master data and transactional data. So now we should know about mainly three types of data. One is system relevant data, and here customization data, and another one is master data and transactional data. That means how many types of data are there? System relevant, customization, master data, transactional data. Four types of data will be there. So let us discuss briefly about them. System relevant data. This system relevant data maintained by SAP only. They are stored in the form of tables. Any changes to such tables constitute a modification for complete software. Any changes, new version or new patch or enhancement, if SAP corporation will bring it, and that changes will affect to the entire complete software, all the clients in that database. So that type of data is called as system relevant data. This we are not going to do anything, only SAP we are not going to do any changes in this. And master data. In the master data, this master data is the core data that is essential to operations in specific business. Core means information that is a key to the operation of business. Information key to operation of business means without that data you cannot perform any kind of operation. Like vendors are not there, you cannot purchase. Like materials are not there, we cannot purchase anything. There is no business, because business means giving and taking from other party. When the other party is not there, and when the material is not there, exchanging material is not there, so there is no business. Master data, it will not change. We are not going to use for transaction purpose. We are going to use them, but we are not going to use as a transaction. It is not limited and often supports transactional process and operations. Supports to the transactional processes. Let us consider a scenario like this. This is our company, a vendor and a material. Business means we are going to buy from those vendors these materials. So here materials means there will be many types of materials. It is not a one material. Company will be only one. Like companies will be many, but it's once if you have defined that company, it will not change. Here materials in one company, hundreds of thousands of materials we are going to use it. So each one have different specifications, and we must record about all of them specifications. Like for example, finished goods, other promotional goods, like consumables, many things we need for organization. So each type of material should have its own specifications, its own dimensions, its own sizes. About this material, lot of different material will have different specifications. I just wanted to say. So it should have its own record. So each material will have its own record, means there are so many types of thousands of materials organization required, including from pin to oil to finished goods, so many things. Just imagine, for an household only we require so many things in our house. For an organization requires man, machines, materials, so many things. So recording all the data about those materials, each one separately, and the list of them, we will call it as master data. If it is related to the material, so we call it as material master. Now coming to the material, automatically we are not going to get it. Someone will supply to us, called as vendor. The vendor also, there are so many vendors for so many materials. Sometimes one vendor will supply one material. Each and every material may possible that one different vendor may supply. Too many vendors also supply one particular item, but different vendors, when for so many materials, the list of all the vendors, we call it as vendor master. Whereas different list of different materials, specifications and all these different materials description we are putting together is a material master. And regarding the vendor, each vendor will have address, its own address, and products he is going to supply, terms and conditions, his own tax codes. There are so many other relevant data about him is needed while we are going to purchase. So without knowing anything, also we can purchase that vendor. We will call it as a one-time vendor. He just will supply, and later on we will not look into him. Before he is going to supply, we are going to see everything, because he is not a permanent or regular vendor, so we will not blame him. So before purchasing, we inspect everything and check everything and take. So that type of vendor, we will call it as one-time vendor. There are so many types of so many vendors will be there. So all this type of vendors, we recording, each vendor must record. He has to have a separate vendor in our company. So regarding all of the vendors, that set of data, we call it as vendor master. Now coming to the purchasing master data. This master data is divided into mainly three types of master data. Again, material master data, because it is related to the material also varies, that's why it has a material master data. Vendors, there are so many vendors also so many vendors, and varies also, that's why vendor master data also we will have it. And purchasing master data means, because vendor data we are not going to do anything without having transactions. The data all we are maintaining, material and vendor master data we are maintaining for having the transaction means purchasing here in our case. If it is sales, so it's a customer master data or sales master data, transaction data we can say. But here purchasing we are doing in this purchasing. So purchasing master data also related. What is mean by purchasing? Purchase means we are purchasing from different persons. Just like one person is supplying before one person, this person is supplying a A4 sheets. The other person is supplying the finished goods. Two persons are supplying the same products. We are buying from different vendors. It is not just two. We can buy from so many vendors also one specific product. That happens. So the transaction, we are buying from same material from different. So the transaction is happening from different vendors for particular item. So this is one kind. Another one vendor itself, he can supply many products. That means one product can be supplied by one vendor only, and there will be no competitor for him, or we are satisfied only with one vendor, and we are not looking into another vendor. Sometimes one vendor will supply so many products, and sometimes one product will be bought from different vendors. It happens. So each one record with material, if the material is varying or vendor is varying, one separate record we have to maintain. So that record we will call it as purchasing master data. Again, this master data, purchasing master data, subdivides into info record, because this is related to the information this vendor with this material is supplying. So what is going to supply is the one, for how much cost is going to supply, that is another one, and when we have to pay, that is terms and conditions, and what discount is going to give it, and what notification, how communication should be. There are a lot of things, tax codes, currency, in which currency we have to pay, what is his currency is going to use. So many things, related things we have to negotiate with him. Those negotiations is nothing but the purchase information, info record. Here info record for purchasing, so purchase info record we will shortly call it as PIR, purchase info record. So this purchase info record, for each and every separate anything out of these three, one varies record should be different. Suppose it is relation between these three. One is our company. That means here company means company cannot buy. On behalf of this company or the plant, purchase organization is formed to purchase the material. Similarly, sales organization is formed to sales the material for company. Like that, purchase organization is responsible for purchasing the materials. When the purchase organization is purchasing, if purchase organization changes or material changes or vendor changes, we must have a separate info record. So among grouping these three, one record will form. If one material with this vendor, with this purchase organization, one record. If the same material vendor is changed, another record must be there. If the same material, same vendor, but purchase organization is changed, it must be another record again. So like that the info records are formed. Now source list. So we are going to use the source list also in this purchase master data. Source list is nothing but one material, who are the vendors supplying it. That record we are going to maintain. That is the source list for that. In that source list we will rank the vendors, that ranking, evaluation of vendors, all this we have another session for that. We already discussed, we are going to discuss in that. So source list we are going to maintain. And now about the quota arrangement. Quota arrangement is nothing but sometimes we cannot rely on one vendor. If that vendor may change or you don't want to supply, our complete organization will stop, because no other substitute. So we must always, organization always keep some substitute for that material, or another vendors also we will keep. Same material we will buy for different vendors. We will not ignore anybody. We will give some quota, something. If suppose we wanted 1000 pieces, then we give it for one person 500, another person 200, another person 300, like that. Depends upon their rank or their terms and conditions and quality. We will see according to that we will buy. So the quota arrangement always, because we will not wait until one vendor is supplied and after his material we will not buy, because the second vendor tomorrow he may not be with us, because we must keep relation with the other vendors also. That's why it is necessary to keep some quota among them and give some requirements to each and every vendor. So that is the quota arrangement we will do. These are the things covers under the master data, and today we are going to discuss detailedly about this master data only. And another section we are going to conduct about the vendor data and purchase info records and all these. So but now in this session we are going to concentrate completely material master data. Now there is another type of data is transactional data. This data is associated with processing of business transaction. This is processing, as I discussed earlier, the transactional data, something information only we are recorded in the information info records, whereas transaction, other than this, before we have discussed only information related purchase terms and other things. But when we are buying anything using those information, vendor master using this material data, we are going to make the transaction, the transactional data. Transaction means we will make a purchasing. When we are going to purchase, what quantity we are going to purchase, because payment per item we already discussed, what item is going to supply, what price is going to give it, that we have discussed, means it is already recorded in the info record. But what quantity we are buying, we have not recorded in that. So when we are buying reality, that reality will have the purchasing orders and all, that is called as transactional data. Suppose we wanted to make a PO, purchase order, for this particular finished goods, that is trading item, we wanted to buy from this vendor. So we wanted 1,000. It depends upon the demand which we obtain from the market, we are going to decide. It is not the early stage we are going to decide it. Only relation, if you buy this much quantity, I am going to give this much price, that information record we are going to keep it in purchase info records. But transaction, when you make a PO, that record we are going to record in the transactional data. When you make the purchase order, it will record that one. Whenever you wanted to open, you can open the purchase orders and you can check his purchase order what we have. That is legal transaction, legal document. It will record in this data, like sales order, invoices, goods receipts, all those transactional data. So whenever we wanted, we can retrieve again and we can see that data. That data base also we have it. That is called transactional data. And like you see, the two POs we are going to make for same product for different vendors, like for one or two items for the only one. So there are also so many types of purchase orders, so many types it will be. For two different items for only one, and means one purchase order will have two items. Sometimes only one item for two purchase orders. We are giving quantity, something for him, something for different. this happens another one. So one item for one or many items for one, like this transactions will be there. So each data we have to maintain in the transactional data. So how many types of data? System relevant data, master data, transactional data. We have another data, customization data. We have in SAP, other than these three, there is another one which is important, customization data. This customization data is related to the specific industries. Each industry will have different type of business nature. So all the type of business will not have same type of characteristics. So products will differ, their settings will be differ. So each product, each organization may differ their own settings separately. That type of customization data will be there in customization data set database. So they are just like, suppose we are creating here number of companies, company codes, purchase organizations in this case, and regarding the materials, you can see this is a separate group of material. Finished goods, there are separate goods, are trading goods, so you can group it separately. And we can also group another one like stationaries and other office items and all these, like this we can group separately items. We can group another consumables, like this we can group separately. So who will decide this is a consumable, this is all companies will not same type of consumables or same consumables only. So it will differ, different industry will differ, different settings will differ, their own setting, their own specifications will differ. The settings should be separate. So that type of settings who can do? The functional consultants will do this customization data. As a functional consultant, we need to create different material groups, like creating material types, material groups, vendors also different one-time vendor, are in different category of vendors for raw material, separate supplying raw materials vendor, imported vendors, local vendors. There are so many groups, we can make it types, we can make it separately. Those are all settings. We'll have a database. So that database is called customization database. So what is difference between among these four types of databases? The difference is this master data